Welcome to another installment of Tag Me In, where the triple threat triforce of the IWC go over the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of professional wrestling. I, of course, am the unofficially official Lip Dizzle, joined with none other than the leader of the most infamous group lurking beneath the depths, the low depths of the Scooter House of Scoot Pioneer, ScooterRay.
And all we need is for you to join us. You're all welcome.
All welcome.
I think the Dark Order has a patent on that or something, or a copyright.
They ain't really using it right now.
Probably not. Probably not, especially with we'll get into that too. But of course, ladies, I know I haven't been able to say this in a while, but it's okay. We about to get it back with a vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
The heartthrob of the IWC, Mr. Jaeger, bombastic, so fantastic that if Nikita Lyons isn't, if she isn't careful, she gonna have a new leader of the Pride. You know what I mean? Jaeger bombastic.
Gonna get hit with that lion's roar. Yeah, no?
She
They ain't the only one.
I mean, Jaeger is a Leo, so I mean,
no.
she can make the lion roar. I mean,
yeah, no. Gonna get hit with that pride rock. Yeah, no.
Man, I have to say,
okay.
Shout out to the squad, everybody. Shout out to Mr. Scoot. Shout out to Mr. Jaeger. Shout out to Mr. JSB, who's holding a nice piece of prediction hardware that
temporarily.
I mean, yes, absolutely. Because I mean, we got a couple weeks. Couple weeks.
Ain't a couple of weeks. It's next week.
Well, yeah, it is next week.
Next weekend.
Oh shit!
It's true.
Yeah, next weekend.
True.
We here.
And if you didn't know, predictions are already they ready. That's why I was gone. I was getting these predictions ready.
I'm waiting to see what happens Wednesday, but we'll get there.
Yes,
you know,
yes,
we got 2 weeks of catching up, so y'all might have to mind this supersized episode of Tag Me In. You know, we got things to discuss. You know,
what's first on the docket, Scoop?
You know, let's go ahead and catch up with This Week in Wrestling before we get individual topics. So, of course, you know, Elimination Chamber was Saturday. Everything went down that went down. They did the whole Bobby was on concussion protocol thing, but in actuality, Bobby has had a shoulder injury since the Rumble. And that was their way of writing him off, because Seth Rollins buckle bombed Austin Theory through Lashley's pod, and they made it seem like he hit his head on the chamber, and they rushed him out saying he was on concussion protocol. But in actuality, he has a shoulder injury that needs some surgery. So, of course, from that, it was a guaranteed new world champion. Eventually, Brock came in and he almost pulled a Shayna, except that he didn't eliminate Bobby Lashley, but he did proceed to eliminate everybody, and he eliminated Austin Theory in the most fashion ever, because Austin Theory tried to run, and he F5'd Austin Theory off the top of the pod.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was safe and brutal at the same time.
I'm about to say F5 off the top of the fucking pod does not sound safe.
Well, he threw him to the outside, and if you've seen the redesigned chambers, it's heavily padded on the outside.
Okay,
So he threw him on the outside. He landed kind of on his feet, then dropped down. Like it was safe. It was as safe as you can get it.
Okay.
Bianca Belair won her chamber match, so she will be going against Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. With that being said, Becky Lynch beat Lita. Maybe that might be it for Lita. There's no word on if Lita's sticking around. They got anything for her, but we're gonna get Becky and Bianca at WrestleMania officially. Roman versus Brock for title unification. Naomi and Ronda beat Charlotte and Sonya. What else happened? I know I'm leaving something out. Rey Mysterio beat Miz in the pre-show. There's another match I know I am leaving out. That's but Roman beat Goldberg. Yeah, so that's why I was leaving that. So
not important shit.
Elimination Chamber. So Monday night, once again, we're setting up more for WrestleMania. The Miz challenged the Mysterios to a tag team match at WrestleMania, and the Miz's tag team partner is Logan Paul.
All right, guys, I'm gonna head out.
Look, somebody
it was obvious.
Said it best. We have to remember WrestleMania isn't for wrestling fans. WrestleMania is for everyone, and WrestleMania always has some type of celebrities involved. This is no different. Because there's also rumors that it could be Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania. We don't know yet.
You see, but Logan Paul is the drawback for me. Like, I understand he's going to get a celebrity match. I would honestly rather see Knoxville and the Crew go up against Sami Zayn.
It could turn that way de facto. He could beat up the whole Jackass Crew at some point, but Knoxville might get the W. We don't know.
Yeah.
But, what else? That was really it with Raw that stood out. They're going to be a triple threat match for the tag titles. It's going to be Alpha Academy, RK Bro, and Rollins and KO. So I guess from that, whatever happens after that, we might see what else gets built up for the rest of WrestleMania. But WWE officially announced that Ronda and Charlotte will headline night 1. Brock and Roman will headline night 2. So we got that. NXT, of course. I'm going to get to her in a minute. But NXT is building up towards Stand and Deliver. And I think it is official that Stand and Deliver is going to be on before night 1 of WrestleMania. It's
going to be on in the morning.
So prepare for a lot of wrestling Saturday. So we're going to get Stand and Deliver.
It'll be on in the morning?
I think it's like the morning.
Like 11.
I think it'll be like the afternoon or something like that.
Yeah, it's like 11 to 12.
Yeah, I think it'll be like 11 to 12. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here,
we're going to get that break in between. WrestleMania.
Here's the problem with that is that if we had the black and gold brand, Triple H's era of NXT, if we had that right now and they pushed that to 11, 12-ish, we would complain about it, but we would still watch it. Like there's no doubt about that.
Yes, absolutely.
And we would still watch it because we know what we're getting. Now, Scoot has been covering NXT 2.0, and it's according to him, it's been getting better.
Well, as I'm watching SmackDown, I guess they're about to book the Knoxville versus Zayn situation.
And then there's that.
But so NXT 2.0, it has been getting better. The issue with 2.0, of course, was like we mentioned before, with them throwing so much at us at once, it was like, wait, no. And they're making all those glaring changes. But now, since the dust has settled and we clearly see who they're trying to build up and who they're featuring, it's starting to make sense. Shout out to the MVP of NXT 2.0, Carmelo Hayes. And you will know if you've been watching it. And also, Trick has been getting a lot better too. They are entertaining duo. Well, Ivy Nile is starting to look like maybe the standout woman so far.
Which I'm not surprised at, because that she has that look, and she doesn't do a lot of talking, which, I mean, the benefit is, having Malcolm Bivens in that situation. So she doesn't have to worry about doing much of that. She just has to make sure that her expressions are good and her in-ring is continuously getting better. So and that'll be a Vince McMahon pet project. So
I can see that. The standout tag team has been the Creed Bros. I'm sorry to be praising Diamond Mine, but it's really happening in that fashion.
It's deserved for them, and it makes sense. It sucks, and it sucks for the very small handful of Diamond Mine fans that they've continuously gutted Diamond Mine to get to them, for them to get to this point. I got to take my jabs where I can get them.
I see.
But it's okay. I still give props. There's some good within Diamond Mine. I'm not gonna bash them too hard, because they have been some of the redeeming parts of NXT 2.0. So,
but it's building towards Stand and Deliver. We might get Braun Breaker and Dolph Ziggler at Stand and Deliver for the NXT Championship. Due to what happened Tuesday, because apparently they were saying the winner out of Dolph and Tommaso could be number one contender, and Dolph did win with Bobby Roode's help.
I was right about to ask where Rude went, but there we go.
Yeah, Rude helped them out.
It's crazy because
also too, I think they quietly letting us know Tommaso was on Raw, because he did have a match on Raw. It was Tommaso and Finn versus the Dirty Dogs. So I think they might be quietly telling us Tommaso is going to be on Raw.
Which he's changed his tune from how he was before, because he was saying he did not want to go to the main roster. But, you switch shit to NXT 2.0, and I guess it'll just make anybody run the fuck off. So
But Stand and Deliver. The women's Dusty started this week. What else? I don't know if Mandy's going to even have a contender, really, because it doesn't look like nobody's stepping up to challenge Mandy for the world title come Stand and Deliver. But we got a month, I guess. And let's go ahead and fast forward all of that. Nikita Lyons debuted, and she was very impressive for many, many ways, and many, many reasons. She was impressive,
and also in many, many positions. Anyway, what?
And that too.
I mean, one that broke the internet in particular, but yeah.
I mean, the problem is she's really talented like that for real. She really knows Taekwondo and all of that, so it's really working towards her favor. They are going to have to sabotage her in order for her not to be something.
Well, that might end up happening and I don't know if it's a bad thing, because I mean, you can go with her in two different directions. You can either allow her to be the lioness like she was on the independent scene and let her do that shtick and let her talk, or you could end up making her, because of her size now, you can end up making her the new Nia Jax in a way.
I can see that.
So that's my only concern of how they'll go. They may forego all the the pros that she has going for her, and just say, okay, well, look at this woman's size. You know, see how impressive she moves for, you know, one of the taller or heavier built women.
Thick.
I was about to say thicker, man. Come on, man.
I mean, look, hey, because look,
thick.
I want to use thick in a certain term. So, you know, I'm going with WWE logic in terms of that's why it took me a while to kind of figure it out, because they're not going to say with the thickness.
It was thick. You gotta put that inflection on it.
You know, JR ain't afraid to call a woman thick.
Exactly. If he said that about Jamie Hayter, I can only imagine what he would say about Nikita.
I mean, Jamie Hayter, though.
I mean Jamie Hayter though too, but Nikita has won the hearts of many people this week. But of course, you know, once again, NXT is building towards Stand and Deliver. It's getting better. I'm gonna officially give my feelings towards NXT 2.0 after Stand and Deliver. And once after Stand and Deliver, I can really give a legit feeling I have about it. But
yeah,
I'm pretty sure we all watched Dynamite though.
Oh boy. Did we though?
I mean, can we just I want to first just touch on this MJF thing. That was gold.
That was the best face promo I've seen in a while.
Yes.
And it came from the biggest fucking heel that there is right now in wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah, the word that kept coming, that kept crossing my mind as I was watching it, as it escalated, was impassioned. Because the whole time at the very beginning, I was waiting for like some flip to happen.
Me too.
Where he like he screwed the fans, but it's like when he got to that part where he just got like emotional about it, I was like, oh damn.
And all right. But not only that, but it hit me when Punk came out and he was like, was that true? Was everything you're saying true? And that camera panned and you see the tears in his eyes. I was like, wait. What is happening right now?
You're like, nah.
And then the fact that he looked at Punk and said, yeah, and dipped out. I was like, oh no, this is real now. This is real.
I was so waiting for like a smirk or something as he left the ring.
If I was a betting man, I would have lost all my money. And I would have bet the house that he was going to give some little smirk or whatever. But I was like, oh no, this was real.
and for anybody who pretty much, you know, was still on this feud after their match on Dynamite, whether you enjoyed the match, whether you hated the match, if you thought that was like it, and you were like, okay, well, I don't see where they're doing this segment alone roped everybody back in. I don't care who you were. And this gave it the feel that, yo, this match belongs on a fucking pay-per-view.
And we're getting it in the form of a dog collar match.
Getting it. So, yeah, Revolution is It makes sense that this card is stacked as the way it is, because that just means something as epic as this card is going to be even better for the epic moment I have when I win my shit back. This is perfect. But let's
okay.
We have to talk about, come on, I mean, Danielson and fucking Mox, and just
they're gonna have a fight.
Just the layers of this whole fucking this whole storyline going on. You not only have the idea of just Mox and Danielson, just alone, that alone, whether they join or whether they feud with each other, it's all interesting. But the fact that you have the implementation of the Daniel Garcia 2.0 storyline wrapped into this, you have the Lee Moriarty and potentially Matt Sydal wrapped into this. And the way that they have introduced these two, even outside of the promo that Danielson had, to have them have fantastic matches with Danielson and just to continue to just add on top of this fantastic storyline sandwich.
Yes.
And for Mox to take one simple line and make this even more interesting, even though it wasn't even necessary. He could have either said, yes, I'll join, no, I won't join. But just to say, yo, if I'm going to stand next to you, I need to be able to bleed with you. I was like, yep.
Sign me up.
Yep. Exactly. It's like, this is
money.
I don't care if it's a face stable. I don't care if it's a heel stable. I don't care if they just say fuck the world and be the real FTW stable. This, yeah.
Yes. Just yes.
There it is. No pun intended.
The beauty that can be of this of the possible stable with those two leading it, but then just the fact that we're going to get a match between these two as they are now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for it. Like, because if you had told me like back at WWE you're going to see like Daniel Bryan versus Dean Ambrose, I would have been like cool, but I would not have been as hype at all as I am for this match.
Yes.
Yeah. And AEW has a way of, and this is why I'm glad that they have basically 4 premier pay-per-views a year, is because they take the time to make each one of those feel important, and they take the time to actually build up to it in a way that keeps you invested and it doesn't seem stale. Because I think it took this week alone, they officially set up, I believe it was 4 matches that they ended up setting up for Revolution, and it felt warranted.
Are we going to care about that AHFO versus Sting, Darby, and Sammy in a triple threat tornado?
Was it,
6-man tornado tag? Are we caring?
Wait, is that on Revolution?
Yes.
No, they don't Revolution. No.
Yes, that was the promo when they was in the stairwell. When Matt Hardy says it's going to be Matt Hardy, Andrade, and Isaiah Cassidy versus Sting, Darby, and Sammy at Revolution in a 6-man tornado tag match.
Nah, that's a MacGuffin.
It might be on the pre-show.
I'm telling you what they're doing.
Well, so that should be the pre-show.
They setting up pre-show. No, they setting up for a triple threat match. It's going to be Sammy G.
That's what other people think
Darby
too.
A. and Andrade.
That's a possibility too.
For the TNT Championship. That's
what people want, but yeah.
And
they also did announce Thunder Rosa versus Dr. Baker. We got
time has come.
Right? We got we got 2/3 of the triple threat match with Red Dragon and Jurassic Express. And now we got to wait to see how the Casino Battle Royal goes to see who's going to be the third team.
It's going to be the Bucks, man.
Which I was shitting on the whole idea of it being like a triple threat, but the way that they're implementing one storyline that was off to the side into the whole Jurassic Express thing is like, okay, go ahead and blend this shit. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Make this shit more interesting.
Also, it kind of doesn't hurt Jurassic. I mean, it kind of doesn't hurt Jurassic Express to if they were to lose to this like feud.
No,
they've been holding it longer than y'all were saying. That y'all than y'all
very true.
yeah. Unfortunately. What else match they announced? Oh, we got Jade Cargill and Ty Conti.
Yeah, which
I'm
okay. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. Jade beating the bunny in that match, perfectly fine. Jade starting her promo, perfectly fine. Ty coming out, starting her promo, perfectly fine.
I see where your problem is.
Ty letting her know that she gonna take that title off her ass and then walk into the ring, storming off to the ring, perfectly fine. The moment that Ty got into the ring, it just got awkward as shit.
Awkward ass shit.
I thought the kiss on the forehead from Jade was a nice touch.
Yes,
but everything else just seemed like, hey, don't miss y'all cue.
Right.
And it just seemed to fall off the rails, and I was all for it, and I was like, no, don't do that, and then it just, yeah, and then when and the J came out, it was just like, why you do this? Why you do this to
That's when she got a chair.
But then she came out with a chair, which made it even more like, okay.
Like, it's not like Ty was getting jump.
But yeah, because Jade stay out of it.
Yeah, very true.
But Ty took that.
I'm trying to go after Jade. Yeah.
Ty took that big boot like a champ.
She did, because she caught all of that.
No, that looks hard. I mean, stiff as fuck.
Yeah.
Speaking of things, and other than that,
we already talked about Nikita Lyons. I mean, what?
I guess we could discuss the other match that's going down at Revolution, because it was a fire promo.
Oh, we're gonna have whole segment.
Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston.
First off, Chris Jericho, I don't think it's the jacket. I think this man has been in the gym like crazy. He looks fantastic.
Man.
He looks fantastic.
You can tell he got tired of the people on the internet talking about him.
I mean, he did look a little bloated, man.
I mean, yeah. Hey, look, that's what touring with Fozzy will do to you, man. But and plus, hey, he was living it up. Can't complain about that. Look, you let that man do what he wants to fucking do.
All right, so
Chris Jericho.
With that being said, who do we thought won the war of words, Jericho or Kingston?
It would have been Jericho had it not. Again, there's this tail end of these promos that tend to happen, and I feel like once Eddie had stated, "Hey, I want this Chris Jericho, that Chris Jericho, this Chris Jericho," that was perfect for his end. Jericho should have looked him in his eyes and just slapped the shit out of him and then walked off. Jericho shouldn't have said anything else after that. And this is why Eddie, for me, got that shit. Because I don't know if Jericho had forgot what he was gonna say, but I was waiting for that slap, because I was like, oh, that's old school, 2000s WWE Jericho.
Yeah.
And that's what I was looking for.
The Chris that Levesque hated. I was like,
yeah. And you can't top that at that point, So Jericho was getting them in the beginning, but the moment that Eddie just brings that realism to it, it's just like he makes you believe that somebody's treading on thin ice when they start their promo. Because he hits you with the, hey, careful.
Exactly.
Careful.
The moment he brought up his uncle and he's like, Chris, watch your tone.
But Jericho's been, I mean, a lot of people complain about him doing like certain things and being out for Jericho, and we've done the same thing. But one thing that is undeniable is that Jericho is actually putting a lot of guys over. Even though it may not seem like it half the time because of his star power, but he has been putting a lot of guys over. So this could be the same thing. So
yeah. Any other thoughts of AEW before we bring in our next promotion we're going to talk about? This, and I hate that it's these two groups that's in the midst of all this, because I feel like they're basically promoter confusion is what I think it is. Storyline, booking, everything about it. It feels like the timing is off, because with Death Triangle and the House of Black, I felt like it's like they're a start stop
because it seems like they're going in the right direction, and then like they stop and they give us something that should have been done either earlier or later than it was, and then they throw in something else that doesn't like when you do basically Penta Black.
Yes.
And you have him basically, I mean, I know they did a promo or a vignette of it a while, like I think last week or before it had happened.
I think they did it last week or the week before, something like that, but yeah.
And it felt like it was unwarranted. Like it's like, yo, we didn't deserve this yet. Like we didn't, storyline wise, we didn't deserve this shit. There's no reason for this to happen for us. Like this felt like this should have been like a Finn Balor finally taking on the demon persona way of going into it. This felt like it was like the middle of the road shit. Like it's like, yo, like are we at the final form stage of this fight?
Yeah, because we got Penta Oscuro, and then we got Matthews debuting, and it's like, well, wait, there's going to be more to this now.
Exactly. And yeah, I felt like Death Triangle should have been beaten down consistently over and over again by like House of Black just getting stronger and more powerful in this whole deal, to the point to where it's like, yo, we got to do something.
Well, I guess Ray Phoenix would be the secret weapon.
Yeah, that shit ain't gonna happen for like a month or so, or two months.
I mean, we'll see.
But Matthews and Ray Phoenix?
Yeah.
Can you give me that shit yesterday?
Assuming Matthews is actually with.
Yeah, he is.
He is. He definitely is.
Yeah.
All right, because you see Malachi starting to like rough handle him a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's the one. I think that storyline shit. I think that's more of like the reluctance. Like he's more like the unhinged one, which you would think that would be Brody King, but it's actually Buddy Matthews. Like he may not be the one to listen all the time, but he knows where his alliances stand. So, look, yes, he looks fan-fucking-tastic.
He does.
Alexa Bliss don't know what she's missing out. See, go ahead, go with Ryan Cabrera, and you need to be over here with some Buddy Matthews like you used to be.
She made her choice.
But yeah, all in all, AEW is firing off on all cylinders. With a few pistons, feeling a little cool at the moment. AHFO, but all in all, can't fucking complain. I'm loving the consistency lately, and keep it the fuck up.
Yeah,
keep it the fuck up.
And for the first time in a long time, we're gonna talk about Impact for a little bit. After watching it last night, I see what they want to do. I see they want to do Bullet Club New Japan, Bullet Club Impact, and I think they want to do Bullet Club AEW. And I think that's probably the reason why they held off on the Paragon name, because I think they wanted to be Cole.
I forgot all about the fucking Paragon name.
And I think they want Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly to be Bullet Club AEW.
You know what? This will be NWO done right, because they've already done like the full on faction takeover. In the inception of Bullet Club and the way that it grew from Prince Devitt through Styles, through Omega, so on and so forth. And now, where most people would think that it was fizzling out and feeling stale with Jay White, it seems like this is the way. And it came out with just like a small spark with him going to Impact, picking up Chris Bay, and just letting it kind of just simmer from that point. And now that slow burn takeover where it's like, okay, well, he's been here. Oh, got a little nice little cameo here. Bam. And it's like, okay, well, what the fuck is going on? And then you get Impact, the least of all places that you would think that this would be the main like start outside of Japan. And it's like, it makes sense because Impact is somewhat the laughing stock in certain cases in the IWC. And to be like, okay, well, hey, we're over here. You can not watch all you want, and that's fine. We're gonna sit here and do this shit in plain sight and then when it happens, you're gonna wish that you were there when it was going on. So, yeah, I'm all for it.
And
I'm all for it.
Then with him kicking out Gorillas of Destiny out of Bullet Club,
Which
and reinserting back the Good Brothers. So
this is hard.
it is.
This is hard because you think about God. This is like foundation levels of Bullet Club.
Mm-hmm.
The OGs, man, the guys that started it all.
The for real Bullet Club OG. Like where the fuck does this Fale stand?
Well, see, that's the thing. Nobody knows what's happening with the New Japan portion of it. We only know, like, we don't even know if Hikuleo is quote unquote kicked out. All we know is the Gorillas of Destiny are kicked out.
Well, you would think Hikuleo would be kicked out because that's
that's their brother, isn't it?
I mean, we seen brothers split up all the time.
This is true.
I was just reminded today that today was the anniversary of Scott Steiner betraying Rick Steiner to join the NWO. So
yeah,
Hikuleo could simply be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stay with the Bullet Club."
I mean, it's still a good fit for him, you know.
Yeah.
But again,
I mean, the Bullet Club's been split before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not in a way, I guess, where the de facto leader goes and makes the split happen.
I mean,
that's a lie too. Kenny Omega did just jump with the Elite.
Yeah.
We'll see, man. Like maybe they're gonna actually just be like Bullet Club Japan.
Yeah, where Tama Tonga can actually be like the official leader of like Bullet Club New Japan. Because I mean, it's more than fucking deserve it on his end. Like he at certain points has been like the unofficial leader of Bullet Club, like during like the in between.
That's been a debate on the internet that some people kind of seen Tama Tonga as the leader rather than Jay White.
Yeah. So
Tama Tonga did take to Twitter and say, like, yeah, his contract had been up with New Japan, but he said he got shit to take care of first.
There you go.
And then, of course, the other big story that's been happening in Impact, you had the Ring of Honor guys, aka Honor No More, with the team of Kenny King, Matt Taven, Vincent, Mike Bennett, Maria Kanellis, and PCO. They were doing their invasion in the past pay-per-view. They had a match with Team Impact, and if Honor No More won, they would officially get contracts. But if they lost, they was kicked out. Well, Eddie Edwards made his choice. He betrayed Team Impact and joined Honor No More.
Which, one, again, like the whole name, Honor No More is fantastic. But this is the one thing that I hate with this type of, like, with the invasion storyline, because it's an overdone trope. And to this day, this whole thing makes no sense. It's like, if you're invading somewhere, why would you then want to be under contract with said place that you're invaded?
Yes.
I've never, like, nobody has done the shit where it actually makes fucking sense. Like, every single time that there is an invasion angle, like, it's like they want contracts. It's like, yo, if you're trying to get hired, cool, but don't sit here and try to basically tear down the one place you're trying to get into. It makes no sense. It will make sense if, like, oh yeah, they don't want us. Like, if it was like an NXT thing and they're trying to invade the main roster, like, oh yeah, you don't want us. Okay, we're gonna make you see what you need to, But like, you gonna work, like, they can easily fire you. You know that, right?
Yes.
You get under contract.
Also, Eddie Edwards did a promo at the end of the show to explain his reasons why he joined them. Well, one, knowing the history now, I didn't know Eddie Edwards had such an illustrious career with Ring of Honor. Two, his promo made sense. He said, hey, we let an outsider come in and take our title away from us. And not only, but they sent Moose, they sent Callahan, they sent Rich Swann, who lost the belt, and while the whole time I'm sitting there waiting for my turn to get our title back, they never called me up. But yeah, Josh Alexander, whatever, he got the belt back and all, but still, you know, we let outsiders hold our title. Then he was like the BS that was happening with Ring of Honor, and I was like, you know what, the promo kind of makes sense. Okay, I get it. But yeah.
And so if Impact did his thing, it's like they're trying to make an impression on everybody. It's like, yo, you ain't been watching this yet? You need to start watching this now. Shout out to Matt Cardona as well.
And Matt Cardona is just wrestling's biggest bad guy right now.
And everybody's sitting there saying, okay, well, I thought he was going to join AEW. No, this man had a fucking plan. And he's making a fucking statement.
And AEW would have messed his plans up.
Yeah, they would have.
Yeah.
GCW, Impact, NWA.
Mm-hmm.
And again, congrats to Matt Cardona for being your new NWA heavyweight champion.
Yep.
So it's like, I mean, come on. Somebody who was completely just overlooked in WWE and just basically had completely handcuffed at every fucking turn. Every time he had momentum, they just kind of fizzled that shit out. And, you know, yeah. And somebody that we'll talk about in a little bit had the same thing happen, but they made something of themselves and could be returning home. But, you know, that's a whole nother situation.
But any other thoughts of Impact before we get to these topics?
No, that was pretty much it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do some of the quicker hits first. So how are we feeling that Machine Gun Kelly will be DLC in WWE 2K22?
It's Fred Durst all over again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look, I will say this. I am now in the anticipation stage for WWE 2K22. I've come around. I've seen some of the shit. I'm like, okay, all right. Now let's see what happens. I'll bite. If I bought 2K20, it can't be no worse than that.
Right. So, we will hope at this point.
Yeah. So, but him being in it, I'm not gonna care. It's not like he's gonna make or break it for me. Fred Durst didn't make or break it for me. I guess it was kind of cool to have him in there, but I mean, with
I could have gone either way. I don't really care about Machine Gun Kelly like that.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's doing the music, I didn't know he was going to be a character. I knew he was doing the music for it, which I'm fine with.
I think they just announced, what was it? What's today? Friday? I think they just announced like Wednesday. I think he's going to, it was like Tuesday or Wednesday, they had announced that he will be playable as DLC.
Is Megan Fox going to be DLC as well?
I doubt it. They only just said
if that was the case, if that was the case, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah, let's do that.
They only just said him. So,
but you know, if that's no, you know, yeah, it's fine.
Right, well,
it is what it is.
Next quick hit, it goes without saying. Undertaker is going to the WWE Hall of Fame. Now, they basically said the Hall of Fame and SmackDown is a 2-for-1. So I don't know if they're doing SmackDown then the Hall of Fame, or the Hall of Fame then SmackDown, or it's the same thing. They didn't specify that yet. They just said that it's a 2-for-1.
It's almost sad in a way.
Because so far, Taker is the only person they have announced for the Hall of Fame. Which we all know, let's be honest, Taker can take a whole Hall of Fame ceremony himself.
True.
So they haven't specified, since this WrestleMania weekend is so jam-packed with stuff. I don't know if the Hall of Fame and SmackDown will be two different shows. And if you buy one ticket, you get 2 tickets for both, or it's the same show. So
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, I guess maybe because WrestleMania is a 2-night thing now, and they're trying not to completely stack it. But you know, Hall of Fame, as convoluted as it could have been at times, was like a staple for WrestleMania season. And it seems like them kind of shoehorning on SmackDown is like, hey, we know y'all don't watch this, so we're gonna put it on something that's gonna make y'all, you know, at least care about it to some extent. Which,
and only that, but then we're gonna make the Taker the guy this year, so definitely y'all should pay attention to it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's cool, it's deserved, but yeah, I don't know. If you're not gonna treat the Hall of Fame like it actually should have, like it has been treated, then I don't know how much a service you're doing for Taker.
Yeah,
in this instance,
I can agree with that.
But yeah,
another quick hit. I got word that apparently Drake Maverick is a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, and
he is back with WWE, but this time as a producer.
Correct.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah, he's at least at this point, he's not getting fired anytime soon.
Well, hopefully.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna hate on him. I mean, I think he would be appreciated, you know, in other promotions, Impact namely, and anywhere else you could possibly think of in a wrestling capacity. Now, as far as a backstage hand or being a mind, as far as on a producer standpoint, it would do him some justice. And this is why I said he probably wouldn't get fired anytime soon, because it would make sense in this instance. But yeah, he does seem to be a glutton for punishment. Now, I don't know if it's for stability, you know, in terms of like financial, but I mean, Drake Maverick.
Yeah.
Look, maybe he'll do some good in, you know, in the producer role, and it'll help, you know,
maybe so.
Both, you know, either both or one of the two shows, but we'll see. So,
another quick hit. Apparently, Control Your Narrative. Apparently, it's close to getting a TV deal.
Huh.
And of course, you know, Control Your Narrative is that little promotion that EC3 kind of started, and he has Adam Scherr and Austin Aries, and apparently Killer Cross said he's going to work with them as well.
Yeah, see, I heard the rumors of Killer Cross. Now I'm confused because I don't know what they were supposed to be, because at first it seems like a fucking stable.
It did.
And then it seemed like a fucking just a brand in general, and now like like a wrestling promotion now.
According to that, it's supposed to be another wrestling promotion.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Yeah. See, another quick hit before we get to our apparently Brian Cage's contract was picked up, so apparently he will be with AEW for another year.
Yeah, I kind of seen this coming. You know, now would he be somebody that would actually be good in like WWE, Impact, AAA, Lucha Underground, whatever? Yeah, absolutely. I think he wants to be in AEW. I know his wife didn't really help things with, you know, with how she went off with how he's being used. But that was never something that was on Brian Cage. You know, it's not something that he came out and stated. You know, he probably had frustrations, but he never came out and just said, you know, hey, I'm the one that's pissed off. She kind of went off. And so I think
did it for him,
yeah. And I think that may have kind of hurt him in a way, because nobody knew what was really going on, because it seemed like it was more so coming from him than her. Yeah, and I think that was probably why they may have taken him off TV a little bit, or kind of let things cool down. And now that you have this whole thing with him having his contract picked up, it's now kind of just easing him back in, which I think it's good to keep him off TV for a little bit to kind of let the staleness that happened with him kind of wear off.
Yeah.
So
how do you feel about that? I don't want to say tactic, but how do you feel about that? About the way Tony Khan wants to do things with the whole let the contract just ride out. Like even if I'm not using you, just let the contract ride out.
I mean, at this point, I think it's stability because at least you know where you stand. Because, and I'm just talking from like from person under contract perspective, where it's like, you know, you don't get blindsided if you get released. It's more like, okay, well, I know my contract end date is here, so I know that I can start making moves in what I want to do up to this point. If we don't have negotiations, you know, and I feel like it's going to be let out, at least I know I'm going to be good up to this point to where I can either go somewhere else or start trying to, you know, fish out other places to see who may want to pick me up or who wants to work with me. So I think it's good. I think it's a safe bet. I think it serves as a morale boost for the people that's under contract with you, and it also promotes a good partnership, you know, in terms of business and contractor. So yeah,
Speaking
I'm
of,
fine with it.
apparently Tony Khan said earlier this week he had a big announcement, and then he revealed more today that the announcement hopefully should come Wednesday. And, and his words exactly was, hold on. The words exactly was, I've been talking a lot about big announcement in the world of pro wrestling. Not only is there going to be a lot of great wrestling on the show, I promise you guys I have a huge announcement coming. Nobody knows what it is. It's going to be something very important in the wrestling business. It's not one particular piece of talent. It's something very special. I'm really excited about it. Believe it's something we'll be in position to announce on Wednesday. I'm pretty excited about that. His words.
See, this is interesting because like had we not gotten like the Owen Hart announcement, you know, for that tournament, this would have been something that I would slot in there. Like, okay, well that's something that's impactful, you know, heartfelt to the IWC and the wrestling community in general.
They said that tournament starts what, June? I think they said.
Yeah, I think so. If it's not, it's either should. Yeah, I think it is summertime because that would make the most sense.
I think they said on Dynamite. I think it was supposed to happen in June.
Okay. Now, I don't know what, because I mean it can't be any title that could be introduced because I don't think it would make sense.
Think they got Ring of Honor.
I didn't think about that.
Think that they acquired Ring of Honor.
Huh.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, hypothetically speaking, if that's the case, if they did acquire Ring of Honor, would we get AEW basically absorbing Ring of Honor, or would we get Ring of Honor as a standalone promotion just funded by AEW?
See, that's the interesting thing. I can see both situations happening, but the issue is, would they try to get Ring of Honor on TNT TBS? Like, that's the issue, the whole TV deal aspect. Like, does TNT TBS want to take on another wrestling program?
Oh, no, I don't know. That it is an interesting concept. So wait, when is he introducing? Is it before Revolution?
He said that I'm assuming if everything works out, he's supposed to announce it Wednesday.
Okay. Oh, I hope this isn't a ratings grab.
Because shout out to Authors of Wrestling, he thought it was going to be like a streaming thing, like a streaming deal. But
I didn't think about that either. Yeah.
But after him reading what TK said today, he doesn't know anymore. Like I said, of course, some ideas been thrown out that, you know, Ring of Honor, the streaming deal. Some people think that they might extend Dynamite another hour, which I hope not. Who knows? Who knows at this point? But
yeah, I guess at this point
it's going to be some type of partnership or something. Thank you.
Yeah, it's more of a wait and see type of thing. Especially since it's so close. Like it's not something that's like, okay, well, we'll announce this in like a few months. We're just getting it worked out. Yeah. So yeah, we have about less than a week.
Yeah, we have less than a week.
So
all right. Do we want to touch on Claudio first or Cody and Brandy?
You know what? No, let's do Cody and Brandy first because there's actually certain reasons as far as why I want to speak of.
All right. Well, since we didn't get a chance to come to y'all last week, Cody and Brandy leave AEW, and since their departure, it's been many rumors saying that Cody's going to WWE. Cody could be retiring, but most of the rumors are Cody, and I guess Brandy by default, are going back to WWE. And of course, word is that now they left it weird because apparently a WWE tactic that they're doing with this WrestleMania is they're leaving everything up for interpretation. Because Edge cut a promo on Raw basically saying he wants a WrestleMania opponent. And listening to some of the buzzwords he said, it could either be Cody or it could be AJ Styles. Especially with AJ just signing that fresh new contract.
Correct.
Even with Miz, before Miz introduced Logan Paul, he said, check out my dashing and this, that, and the other. So they're throwing out buzzwords and things that
Correct.
maybe Cody could be a part of WrestleMania, or maybe if Cody does come, I guess he'll debut after WrestleMania. Who knows? But all sources are saying Cody and Brandy, mainly Cody, going back to the E.
At first, I didn't know what to believe. I was like, okay, well, this could be potentially a work. With the whole AEW thing, it's like, okay, you know what? Cody has unfinished business, which of course was the go-to phrase because like, yo, Cody still hasn't won the AEW championship. This could be a work to kind of just write him off for a little bit and have him come back and then, whatever. But then I heard, and of course, in the comment section below, correct me if I'm wrong. Amanda Hubert has, I believe, taken up, the chief branding officer role.
Oh, really?
If I'm correct.
Okay.
So if that's the case, and given Omega's comments about the whole situation, it starts to make more sense. And it starts to lean more towards the fact that Cody himself could be potentially going back to WWE. And this was always a thought of mine because I figured that, okay, he's gonna do a Drew McIntyre situation, but on fucking steroids.
Yeah.
To the point to where
everywhere else and then come back.
Correct. And I think it makes sense.
It does.
I don't like it in this instance. Because I felt like it's way too publicized right now for it to actually be, one of those shit moments.
Yeah.
And the problem is it's not so much as, okay, wow, Cody's going back to make up for lost time or to redeem, what was done to him in WWE. It's more the question ends up turning into,
why
how's WWE going to screw this up?
Because they will.
Yeah, and that's the main problem because here's the thing: Cody Rhodes is a ratings grab. Cody Rhodes at this point is a main event star. It's not that he wasn't before, but he's upped his stock since leaving. Being Ring of Honor champ, being NWA champion, winning gold in New Japan, winning gold in the promotion he helped build, AEW.
And then help building a promotion.
he's shown his value in a multitude of ways, both in front of the camera as well as backstage in their gorilla position. So if he is going to WWE, it could be a situation where he may not even be in front of the camera. Now, I don't believe that, because you have the aspect and the concept of WrestleMania to be like, okay, well, Cody Rhodes may want to main event WrestleMania at some point, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, Cody wants to do what his brother couldn't do, and what they wouldn't let his father do in WWE. So it makes sense.
With the recent releasing of Shane and Cody having the experience he's gained with what he's been doing behind the scenes at AEW, I can see him being like how Vince was in the Attitude Era, a man behind the curtain, but at the same time is out there. He's wrestling shows. He's getting involved in storylines. I can see him being a corporate Cody.
New Levesque.
Interesting.
And it's just going to suck because all the fucking WWE stands are going to be rubbing it in AEW fans' faces. Look who we got. Look who this is. Blah, blah, blah.
I mean, let's not act like the AEW fans wasn't doing the same.
Yeah. This is fair. This is a very fair point.
But one of the questions and one of the, of course, rumors that has been one of the reasons of Cody's departure is Tony Khan taking the powers away from Cody, the Elite. I guess technically maybe Brandy too, but I guess the question would be, was that right for Tony Khan to do?
I can answer that absolutely right now. Yes, I do believe so. I do believe so, because the thing is, when you have your EVPs and they're making decisions and they're still in front of the camera, regardless of what they say and how they may feel, there's always going to be a slight bias. And I will tell you, I'll give you the perfect amount of examples as to why it's necessary. No, oh, well, yeah, there's that. But in terms of AEW, think about the majority of bad segments and bad situations that have gone on. Nightmare Collective.
Yeah.
Nightmare Factory to an extent. Now think about what spawned out of that. The Factory. The situation with some of Cody's promos. Him and Anthony Ogogo. That situation. Anything regarding QT Marshall. I mean, it's the shit with Brandy and Dan Lambert. There's a lot of bad TV that is associated with the Rhodes family, in a sense.
That is true. And now that you put that in perspective, that is true.
And that's not to say that Omega didn't shit the bed with part of the women's division. That's not to say, well, the Bucks hadn't really done anything bad. In terms of like the tag division is okay. Even when they got the titles, they still were doing a lot for the tag division. Omega, in a sense, you could say that there was some type of bias because he was walking around winning damn near every fucking championship from other promotions. So it's like, maybe, I don't know if that was an Omega thing or what, but at the same time, it's hard not to look at it and say, well, he is an EVP, so
yeah.
So it's and Tony Khan at this point, it's a sucky decision to have to make, but it's a necessary one, because then you get people like Jim Cornette off your back saying, well, you're letting the inmates run the insane asylum, and I think to quell that, and it'd be different if Tony Khan was the type of person that said, and pointing fingers, but he's been the type of person that would take all the brunt on his back, even when it's somebody else's fault. He's been the type of person that said, you know what, hey, it's my fault. I did this. It's a decision that I made. So it's like, if you're going to have somebody take the power away, let it be him. Because anytime there's a Nightmare Collective or Brandy Rhodes segment, you don't see them on here saying, hey, it sucked for us. We did it. They're out there defending it, even though it was dog shit bad. So it to me, yeah, he was justifiably right in that.
Okay. Jaeger, got any?
And to add on that,
Yeah. Well, hold on. Well, not so much to add on that. I'm actually Jaeger. How do you feel of the other rumor that all of this is a work? That Cody hasn't really left AEW. That's another rumor.
I mean, doesn't Brandy still have something to do with Paige Van Zandt?
Well, maybe not anymore.
I mean, well, hey, maybe not anymore. If this is a work, they're really committing to it because like they took him off the promo for the opening credits of Dynamite. Like
Jericho didn't mention his name in that segment.
Yeah. I mean, they're really just dropping Cody Rhodes out of a lot of talk where he's due for talk. And if it's a work for like, I don't know, the dark-haired Cody to come back like at Revolution, or if it's a work for some kind of version of Stardust to show up at Revolution, then I mean, hell, then AEW, I will stand up and clap because AEW will have pulled the biggest swerve on me.
Like everybody.
Yeah. But assuming he is going to WWE, I can only ask why, because I mean, as a wrestler, he's been seeing what WWE's been doing to their talent. He knows that. I mean, he should know, like, hey, what's happened to him and his family there. I don't see why, especially now, he should think that anything's going to be different. Especially, like, I don't know if, I mean, like I said, maybe he's got that idea that, oh, yeah, Shane's gone, so maybe he can start being the man behind the curtain.
Maybe.
But, damn, the fans have been treating him brutally these last few weeks that he had been on TV.
That is also true, too.
I mean, look, I know that y'all want a guy to go ahead and turn heel, but holy shit, like, you don't need to be chanting for him and his wife to shut the fuck up.
I mean, look, I'm all for that, and that's fine. You know, and the character of Brandy on screen kind of deserved it because it's like she was trying very hard to be Miss Stephanie McMahon.
She very hard. I don't care. I don't care what Stephanie. I don't care what Brandy has to say. She can say whatever she wants to. She knows she was being very Stephanie-esque.
But let's take it a step further then. Let's say Cody didn't want to turn heel. AEW, it makes sense. He's for that community. He wants them to know, hey, I'm for you, no matter if you hate me or not. This is my community. This is what it is. But what if he says fuck it and he goes heel in the promotion that left him in the dust? And he becomes the biggest heel in that company. Because I mean, think about it. SmackDown has Roman Reigns as basically their top heel. Raw doesn't really have a top heel like that.
Nope.
And who bigger than the guy who went up against the company a long time ago?
And since they about to unify the titles, but yeah.
Does WWE have? Does AEW have a no compete clause for like?
I don't think so, but I mean, Cody's contract is out, so I mean, it wouldn't even matter.
That's true. That is true.
He could show up there yesterday if he wanted to.
Yeah,
that would be pretty interesting. Like post match between Roman and Brock to see Cody show up.
Yeah, because whoever's going to become champion is going to be on both shows.
It's going to be really interesting to see because he has the TNT show, the freaking Roads to the Top or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
I think they may have canceled it now.
I mean, because it was supposed to get renewed.
That would make sense for them to if they did.
Because I know they did get renewed for a second season, but
yeah.
I mean, it'd be funny to see them start covering WWE material instead of AEW.
Yeah, but then that would put Rose to the Top on the USA Network.
I was about to say, or Rose to the Top could just move to USA.
True.
There hasn't been anything updated as far as like whether they're. I mean, there's the renewal for the second season, but there hasn't been any confirmation on a cancellation of the show. So,
yeah. Well, I guess we will be waiting and see what happens with Cody and Brandy. But as for now, it's just been a bunch of speculation, a bunch of rumors and murmurs. But one thing that wasn't a speculation, because everybody's now has been talking about it, including now the wrestlers.
Yeah, it's as of yesterday.
Antonio Cesaro's contract, well, he was on the extension for a whole year.
Yeah, which I didn't even know.
I didn't know that either.
Because I think the talk. See, when everybody was talking about him like re-signing, yeah, that was re-signing, but that was just a contract extension.
Yeah,
that wasn't a full-on contract. Which I was like, oh, okay.
But Antonio Cesaro has officially left the WWE.
Okay. So this is where the lesser of two evils comes into play.
Okay.
And let's throw in AJ Styles in this, because I know a lot of people have gotten mad, especially a lot of fans in the IWC when Kevin Owens resigned, Sami Zayn resigned, now AJ Styles has resigned, and people are getting mad at them. Here's the thing, and this is the problem with a lot of fans, and Scoot will be more than happy to shit on these fans.
Oh, fuck yeah. Let's go.
If you have a situation where you are in a job that you have made a foundation in, and you've built on that foundation, you know the people, you know the routine, like it's a cush position, you have the pay, there is no want for a necessity, because this job gives you all the necessities in the world that you need. Only problem is there may be some unfulfilling moments where it's like you could feel that you've been doing more, but the job doesn't treat you bad. So it's like, yeah, you could leave, but you're going to risk more than you could potentially gain, because you have the want for necessities and you're not in a bad situation outside of not feeling fulfilled. This is why Kevin Owens resigned. Sami Zayn, I can rope that in because him and Kevin Owens pretty much want to stay together because they're best friends. So that makes sense.
And I mean, and let's put it in perspective of AJ Styles. AJ Styles been with the company since what, 2016? 2016.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
He's already a Grand Slam champion. He had Undertaker's last match along with Gallows and Anderson. The only thing AJ Styles hasn't done is win a Royal Rumble. But he's done everything in the company in that short amount of time. I mean,
and you talk about somebody who, especially at AJ Styles' age, can basically retire ASAP. And the thing about him, I can't speak for Sami Zayn, but I can speak for him and Kevin Owens. They're in a position where they can pretty much write their own ticket. They have the longevity in WWE and the trust of the hands backstage, to where it's like, yeah, we may kind of fudge you on a few storylines here and there. You may get kind of left in dust on a few things here and there. But at the end of the day, you can almost damn near write your own ticket, almost at Roman Reigns level of control. So them resigning
for AJ.
Yeah. And that speaks volumes in terms of, hey, this is why we decided to say, because there's no guarantee that they would get that same treatment in an AEW, in a New Japan, in an Impact, in a Ring of Honor, so on and so forth.
And once again, we're going to play devil's advocate here. If KO, Zayn, and Styles would have left, of course, we're thinking AEW would have been the landing spot. At what point are we going to start looking at AEW and be like, yo, hey, there's a lot of people over there, guys?
I mean, I've been making that point for a little bit now.
True.
So,
true.
At what point some of them superstars are going to get a little pissed off because it's like, damn, anytime I think I want to come up, somebody do come in.
And that's the big thing. And I think that's the writing on the wall that in AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn sees. It's like, okay, well, we pretty much have a good position here. If we go somewhere else, we're basically starting from scratch, or we're potentially taken away from our colleagues in the professional wrestling industry. And so it's like, okay, it's more honorable than it is selfish in terms of, hey, because a lot of fans would take this thing, oh, well, you want to stay with them and we don't want to watch that, so it's like a slight at them, and it's not. It makes sense. They're actually helping you and this business in a sense. Now, in terms of Cesaro is in the same boat as Mr. Balor. Finn Balor had been off TV, up until the point of him being on Raw this week since the turnbuckle debacle.
Yeah.
Cesaro has lost, I believe, more than 7 of his last matches.
Cesaro, he was beefing with Ridge and Sheamus. He virtually lost all of those matches. He lost the tag team title opportunity with Mansoor. I think the last match Cesaro won, I don't even think it was this year, to be honest with you. I think he lost every match he was on this year, unless he was on main event or something. But since he was on SmackDown, most likely not. But yeah, I don't think he won a match since like December.
Yeah,
to be perfectly honest.
So if you were like analyzing it, you could probably already see the writing on the wall.
Exactly, and that's the thing, and that's because Cesaro has had his momentum stunted so many times. And I'm not saying I would never say Cesaro was underrated. I would never say that he was, in that sense, because he has done things in WWE. But I will say that he was not fully utilized to his utmost potential. He's in the same phase as a Dolph Ziggler, as a Finn Balor. Well, can't even say Kevin Owens, because even Kevin Owens has won the big one on a multitude of times. Cesaro has been a prospect at so many turns, even with him being put with, Paul Heyman, being put with Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger when, they did that whole deal. It's been so many things that he's been a part of to where you could see him branching out and being his own star. But then WWE just basically, keeping that, they kept that glass ceiling on him very low, to the point to where he couldn't reach the points where he should have reached a long time ago. He should have been a multi-time world champion in WWE by now. But they see him Carter. And I don't think that's right for him. And I think that he can do what a Matt Cardona is doing now, especially with the types of matches that he puts on. So yeah, I would say this is a situation where it's like him leaving makes the most sense. There's nothing left for him to do in WWE except for go out, build his stock, and then potentially come back if that's the case. So yeah.
Well, speaking of AEW, a certain wrestler tweeted he won't have the balls to come here.
One Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston. For those people who didn't know, Eddie Kingston has a long-standing hate towards Cesaro. So, does that play a factor in Cesaro potential? Well, Claudio going to AEW.
I mean, as much as I would like to see it, we did just talk about how AEW's roster is getting pretty full.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I could see him doing very well at Impact. And hell, maybe even going on a long or a bit of a feud with Cardona.
Yeah, I
Or
see
potentially going to New
Cesaro.
Japan.
I see Claudio. I see Claudio being a nomad.
That'd be tight.
I see him being a nomad. I see him doing what Cardone is doing and just branching off and going different promotions. I don't see him being specifically linked to one company.
Because that's basically what Swerve been doing. Even though now there's rumors that AEW might have signed Swerve, but that's what Swerve has been doing.
And that wouldn't hurt him. That wouldn't hurt him at all.
Yeah.
But Claudio, yeah, I think for him, this makes sense for him to not sign anywhere, but to sign everywhere. Temporary contract. So yeah. But I'm happy.
Claudio in Japan would be tight too.
Yeah,
it would. Now, Dolph, it's time, man. Get the fuck out of there. Go. Be free.
I think Dolph wants to finish up what he's doing with NXT/Raw, and we'll see what happens after that.
Biggs is a lifer, man. Unless Ryan Nemeth decides to, convince him to leave, I don't see it happening. I see Ziggs being a lifer. So he wants to be a dirty dog forever.
I could definitely see what's his name leaving Finn. I can see Mr. Balor.
Oh yeah.
Leaving.
Ooh.
I don't know what his contract, because somebody said it.
Did you just go where I went?
But the Battle for Bullet Club would be just, I'm gonna say this, and I don't give a fuck what y'all think. It would be orgasmic. I said it.
Bro, it would be, I already forgot her name.
Nikita?
Nikita Lyons?
It would be Nikita Lyons in the best of ways cheeks if Finn Balor just leaves WWE, goes back to New Japan, reclaims Bullet Club since he's still in the States, starts a feud with Jay White.
Recruits Tama and Tonga.
Oh
boy.
Look, I'm telling you.
As soon as you said Finn Balor leaves, I'm like, yes.
I mean, to think. The idea of that being no pun intended, the coup de grace of this whole Bullet Club storyline, to have
absolutely
the founder, the originator of the Bullet Club to come back and just top this whole thing off.
Is he past his contract though?
I don't know what his contract is.
That's the question.
This is why Omega shouldn't have been on the whole belt collector thing, because it would make sense. And I hate that we're doing this whole fantasy booking thing, but for Balor to come back during all this whole Bullet Club takeover thing, and for him to go and win all the fucking titles everywhere, he makes the most sense to do some shit like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or maybe that could be the case. Maybe Kenny was just the catalyst for all this. It's like, let me show you how the leader of Bullet Club actually collects. Oh my God. And then we can get a match with Omega. And all right, I'm done.
If you give me an Omega Balor match, I will. I'll need to change the sheets. But anyway.
Yeah.
Look, any day, any fucking day, they want to give me that. I would be perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
I need to hear Prince Devitt going, Bullet Club Ichiban, fella. I need to hear that again.
But yeah, I can't see anything about when his contract could potentially be up, but it's gonna get interesting.
It is gonna get interesting.
Yeah.
As Jaeger would say, Nikita Lyons levels of yeah. Or you know, or if it was me, I mean, Nikita Lyons is cool, but I mean, if it was me, honestly, it would be that.
My screen's a little small.
Yeah.
Nah, huh?
I was just saying, my screen was a little small. I couldn't read that.
Oh, my bad. See, it was too much thickness for the screen. That's my fault. That's my fault.
Oh, yeah, because I was saying because I ain't seen it but some words.
That was my fault. That was my fault.
There we go.
I got you. Look, he even made a whole little mock-up and everything.
He did a whole thing.
That's little cheeks Dolan for the people out there.
I see somebody visited the Reddit page.
No. No, this is Google.
That's some Googling.
But yeah, but honestly, I'm okay with Cesaro leaving. It makes sense. But in terms of, and this is just purely on the fans. Like, stop thinking everybody that leaves WWE is going to go to AEW.
Yes.
You can hear the rumors all you want, and that's fine. But to be perfectly honest, anything that's going to benefit any promotion or company, or hell, most importantly, anything that's going to benefit that particular performer is what makes the most sense. So we have to keep that in mind and learn when to take a page out of Mount Hushmore's book and just learn to shut the fuck up. Because what's going to happen is going to happen, and each performer, each professional wrestler in this industry is doing what they're doing for the betterment of themselves. So yeah. So Claudio, if you want to be a nomad, I'd be happy because that's what I want to see. That's me being selfish. But wherever you want to sign, you go back to WWE, cool. I don't agree with it. That's me being selfish again, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Do what the fuck makes you happy. But Mr. Balor, you got a job to do.
Yes. Honestly, I think he knows that.
Yeah. Non-negotiable.
Yeah, at this point.
But yeah, so we got anything else on this front?
Nah, that was it. Unless y'all got something else, but that was really it.
Okay. Well, you know how we do it every time. Again, people.
Mm-hmm.
You see everything scrolling at the bottom. You know where to hit us up. You know where to find us, ladies. Of course, you already know where to find Jaeger. There's no surprise there. He will let you know. He will let you know. But
you come a knocking, I come a rocking.
That's right. And he ain't talking about, you know what? Let me not do that. You know what he means. You know what he means. He ain't talking Fred Flintstone. But in terms of this shit, this tag YouTube shit, whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it, thumbs up, thumbs down. Leave all your comments, concerns, questions down below. You want to bring up a debate, you want to throw us some topics, you want to let us know if there's something that we need to cover or talk about, hit us up on all fronts. It does not matter. But hit that notification bell for all notifications. Anytime we drop something, upload shit.
That's how much you got to hit the notification. You got to tag.
You got to tag the notification.
Got to tag it.
Yeah, hit that ring bell. That's what you do because the match ain't never over.
Ooh.
But most importantly, tag the out of that subscribe button so that way you can follow us at all times. But as I warm this bad boy, because I have to give a long awaited overdue too sweet to
right?
It is on fire.
I want you see this too sweet gonna hit so hard that Jugs feels it, and he'll know that I'm coming for that title. But bada bam. And see, I see Scoot. You know, he pulled it all the way from the Scootical. If y'all didn't catch that, but
way up.
But of course,
flashbacks every now and then.
But again, until you see these beautiful faces and hear these immaculate voices, we bid you all a very much overdue adieu. And until next time, you beautiful mother effers jugs, I'm coming for my shit back. As always, until next time, tag the fucking